Hi. First time going live ever, and of course I have lost my voice. So if you're joining me tonight, I hope that you can hear me okay, and if you can't, let me know. I'm going to keep track of that in the comments. Let me know if you're listening. Let me know if you're here. I hope that you take this time to ask questions, get involved. Again, this is my first time ever going live, and I am totally outside my comfort zone right now. We're going to give it a couple minutes just to give people a chance to hop on. We'll see how this goes. I hope everybody's had a nice weekend so far. Again, let me know if you're here. Let me know if you're listening. And if you're catching the replay, that's totally fine too. Excuse me. So tonight we are going to talk about, I think I figured out how to do this. Hang on one second here, actually. Maybe not. Anyway, all right, so tonight we're going to talk about how to get a better understanding of who we are, why we do the things we do, and then use those unique patterns and habits to come up with a strategy plan. And I'm going to give you 10 steps on how to do that. So in the next couple of minutes, hi Paula. I see that you're watching. Okay, this is kind of cool. I'm kind of digging this live thing. So in the next 10 minutes, Paula, can you hear me okay? Just let me know in the comments if you can't. I've got some tea here so I can make it through this. All right, so if you are listening live, I want you to grab a pen, a pencil, a pad of paper. I want you to take notes. We're going to answer some questions. We're going to dig a little bit deep tonight. But I want you to have these notes to go back to when you have more time to think, and you can add to them, revise them. Much like ourselves, our goals will change throughout our lives, throughout our days. So I want you to have those notes for yourself to take away. All right, we'll give it maybe one more minute just to catch up. Paula, where are you listening from tonight? All right, maybe I don't understand the lag thing. I was told there is one. Interesting. Anyway, all right. So, all right, let's get started. If you're joining us late, that's totally fine. You can jump in whenever you get a chance. All right, so again, we're doing 10 steps to creating successful strategy plans to reach your goals. Step 1. We are going to give ourselves permission to be perfectly imperfect. Again, we're going to give ourselves permission to be perfectly imperfect. This means celebrating progress, even the littlest victories, like things that you don't think matter, absolutely matter. They all end up adding up in the end. So progress, not perfection. When we strive for perfection, that's when we end up failing. We end up getting frustrated and throwing in the towel. And as women particularly, we are far too hard on ourselves. We don't cut ourselves the slack that we deserve. We know that we work hard. We take care of our kids. Hi, Rob. We take care of everybody else, and we always put ourselves last. That's not okay. So tonight, we are going to give ourselves permission to be perfectly imperfect. We are going to learn to set our expectations at a realistic level, because what happens is when we set our expectations too high, we get disappointed, and then we give up, right? Okay. Again, celebrating those small victories, the 80-20. So if you can set your goals at the end of tonight, and you learn how to set those goals, and you can perform at like 80%, and 80% of the time you're doing awesome, and that 20% you're like, maybe I could have done better. That's totally fine. 80-20 is awesome. Okay, so we're going to learn to accept and appreciate the 80-20. Then, even in our roughest days, there is something to be learned. So, I'm going to give you an example. Yesterday, I had a meltdown. I'm not going to get into all the gritty details because it's boring and nobody wants to hear it. But I've recently gone through a really big transition. Hi, Pat. In my life. And I thought that I was handling it well, and I was putting on this big, brave, bold face, and as it turns out, I didn't really give myself that chance to grieve and kind of move past that failed goal that I thought I had. I didn't really take the time to deal with that internally, and yesterday something triggered it, and I just lost it. And this spiraled into I'm a failure, I don't deserve anything good to happen to me, blah, 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 blah. So, even at the end of yesterday, there was something to be learned. I woke up this morning with puffy eyes, I felt like junk, I felt like garbage. Of course, I'm overtired, and I'm not feeling well to begin with, so of course I was over-emotional. But what I learned yesterday was that it's okay. It's okay to be sad. Hi, Amanda. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to be disappointed. It's okay to have all those negative feelings as long as I don't get stuck there. The next day, I can wake up and I can say, okay, moving on. Which brings me to my next point. When you give yourself permission to be perfectly imperfect, that means you get to vent, you get to be negative. Hi, Michelle. You get to express those emotions because those emotions are really, really okay. So what I want you to do is give yourself permission to vent every single day for 5 minutes. That's all you get. 5 minutes. Get it out. You set a timer for 5 minutes. Hi, Shelly. You write, you talk, you type, you do whatever you need to do to get that negativity out. Then you wrap it up with the lesson that you learned. So you're ending it with positivity. Hi, Pat. Then you say thank you. Thank you to the universe. Thank you to God. Thank you to whoever it is, whatever it is that you believe in. And you move on. End of story. So that's step 1. Permission granted to be perfectly imperfect. Sorry. All right. Step 2. We're going to explore this idea of fresh starts and resets. Now, I could have very easily done this live on January 31st, or December 31st, January 1st, somewhere right around the beginning of the year, and I purposefully did not do that. I also refrained from getting on Facebook, no matter how bad I wanted to. I refrained from getting on Facebook and saying, Happy New Year, it's a new you, blah, 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 because that's not the message I want to send. We have this inner thing that drives us to want to clean house, we want to detox, we want to cleanse, purge, whatever you want to call it, your do-over. And there's something about the first of the month, the day, the week, the year, and when all those come together, like January 1st, that's like nirvana. Milestones, so a lot of my friends, we're all approaching 40. Things like that kind of make us reevaluate what we're doing, how we're living our lives, and what changes we want to make. Are we where we want to be? Are we who we want to be? And the signs that that's happening are when we get tired, when we get grumpy, we start hearing this voice in our ear like, oh, I don't want to go to work, or oh, I don't want to go home, or whatever that case is. So all that means is that whatever we're doing isn't working for us, but we want to make sure that that is for us. Is it that society or the media or our family or our friends or our coworkers or our neighbors are expecting us to be up at this level, and that's not where we want to be or who we want to be? We need to make sure that when we want to change, we're doing it for us, because otherwise we're not going to be successful. So I think about, hi Joan. I think about when I quit smoking. I must have said, I'm going to quit smoking, hi Nicole, a gazillion times. And yes, that's a real number. I quit for a year once, but I quit because somebody else wanted me to. And as soon as the big first event happened in my life that I didn't know how to deal with, first thing I did was reach for that pack of cigarettes, and next thing you know, I was smoking again. Until I reached a point that I said, enough is enough. I'm done. I don't know why I'm doing this anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm tired of smelling. I'm tired of spending the money, and I'm embarrassed by my own habit. That was when I knew I was ready. But I had to get there for myself. If someone else had said, ooh, you should quit smoking because you're going to die and it's so bad for you, it didn't matter. I heard it all the time. It's printed all over the cigarette packs. It didn't matter. I had to want it for myself. So one of my signs, and this is something that I want you to start paying attention to, in your own life. You're going to have your own triggers and your own signs, and you're unique. And we're going to get to that in a minute. But one of my signs is I start mentally rearranging my furniture. And it took me a while to figure that out, that when I start rearranging my living room or my bedroom or whatever it is in my head, that means I'm ready for a change. And it's probably got nothing to do with my furniture, although I could always use new furniture. But it's usually, that's the easiest thing for me to control. And so that's me trying to avoid whatever it is that I know I need to change subconsciously, but I haven't really accepted it on that conscious level yet. So, excuse me. Again, just kind of exploring that idea of resets and fresh starts and do-overs, and making sure that we're doing them for the right reasons and the right time for us. Okay? All right, so step 3. Let's talk about why we don't typically achieve our goals. How many times have you said to yourself something like, I'm going to lose 20 pounds by summer. I'm going to stop buying coffee every day. Like those foo-foo coffees, not a black coffee, because that's what, pennies. I'm going to stop, whatever the habit is that you're trying to stop. How many times have you said you're going to stop it, and then you don't do it? So our problems are typically that our goals are too vague. We don't have a concrete plan. We just say we're going to do something, and then we don't come up with a plan on how we're going to do it. Our goals are too big or lofty. So that losing 20 pounds by summer, okay, cool. When is summer exactly? And are we talking summer on the calendar? Are we talking summer in Wisconsin? Because that's like a 3-day period. Are we talking 20 pounds? Are we talking dress sizes? Are we talking measurements, inches? How are we going to lose 20 pounds? What are we going to do? How are we going to change that? How are we going to get there? And why? I'm so sorry, you guys. All right. Are you guys still able to hear me? I hope so. Otherwise, I would imagine you'd stop watching. All right. So another reason that we don't meet our goals are accountability. We don't hold ourselves accountable. We don't have the right people on our support team to hold ourselves accountable. We don't know where to look for those people. We end up trusting the wrong people sometimes. I'm guilty of that for sure. Another reason, and this one is huge, is we stay inside our comfort zone, or we get so far out into delusional land that our goals are next to impossible to meet. The number one reason why we don't hit our goals is fear of failure. Hi, Shelly. Fear of failure is huge. It stems from a lack of confidence, uncertainty, and doubt. It's really, really powerful, that fear. And we're going to dig into that in a little bit. So right now, I want to take just a 1-minute break. I want to make sure that everybody's got their pens and pencils and paper and whatever they're going to take notes on, because this is when we're going to start writing things down. Grab your drink. Leave me a comment. Hit that little like button thingy or whatever. Let me know that you're here. Again, this is my first time doing a live, and so I can see that there's some of you watching, which is really cool. But I do want this to be interactive too. So I've been told that there's a lag when people leave comments, or either way, maybe you hear me later than whatever. Anyway, all right. So I think I've done that long enough. Make sure everybody's got their pen and paper. All right, so this is a 4-step process. This is the 4th tip, and there's 4 steps in this process. All right, so number 1, we're going to think about strangers, people that you meet at the grocery store. Hi, Stacy. People you meet at the grocery store, people you meet at a new job. You go to a job interview, you've never met these people before. People you meet at a restaurant. Anybody that you don't already know, that you don't have an established relationship with. I want you to think about how you present yourself to the outside world. Just in general, I mean, not like, I present myself as this big, powerful businessman, blah, blah, blah. Just, you know, are you friendly and outgoing? Are you shy? Are you quiet? How do you present yourself? What are people's first impressions of you? And I know it's not like we walk around asking people what their first impressions are, but I want you to think about what you think people's first impressions are of you. We're going to write one sentence or phrase that others would use to describe you. And again, we're thinking about strangers. So not people that, not people that already know you, but people who you just run into. You know, what is that one sentence or phrase that they would use to describe you right off the bat, first impression? And then, after that, we're going to list the qualities and abilities that others are most likely to see in you when meeting for the first time. So just like 2 or 3 of them. We don't have to go, hi Peggy, hi Angie. And again, this is something you can come back to and add to later when you have a little bit more time to think about it. So strangers. How do you present yourself to the outside world in general? What are people's first impressions of you? What is that one sentence or phrase that others would use to describe you? And then list those qualities or abilities that others are most likely to see in you when they first meet you. All right, so that's step 1. Hi, Kim. All right, step 2. We're going to think of friends who know you well. So I'm seeing all these names that are watching, and this is awesome because I know all of you. And I think it's really cool that you're all being supportive and you're watching, and I feel like I'm just kind of hanging out with my friends now. So this is making it a little easier. Thanks, guys. So I want you to think of friends who know you well, family members, anybody that you're close to. All right, so we're going to write that one sentence or phrase that they would use to describe you. Excuse me. And then we're going to list the qualities and abilities you have that they admire. So this could be something like, you have this quality of always holding the door open for someone, always saying hello, always saying please or thank you. And maybe you think that that's something that your friends would admire about you. Write that down. That's totally what we're looking for here. All right, so then we're going to think about yourself. This is step 3. We're going to write what you most value about yourself. And this is where people start struggling, because it is really hard to say something nice about yourself, isn't it? I've done a couple of workshops similar to this one, and I always have, and those are in person, and I always have the people say what their name is, how they're feeling, and something interesting about themselves. And it's amazing to me to watch people struggle with coming up with something interesting about themselves. We're all so different. We all have something about ourselves that is interesting. So I want you to write that down. What do you most value about yourself? And then I want you to list the qualities and abilities that make you feel good, even if others don't know about them. So let's say you've got this hidden talent that you're like a yo-yo master. That's pretty cool. I don't know that I'd put it on my resume, but it's still like something that maybe people don't know about you. Or maybe you're like a phenomenal singer. And I'm not talking like shower singing or car singing when you're by yourself. I'm talking like you can sing, but you just don't do it in front of people. Write that down. If it's something that makes you feel good about yourself, write it down. All right, so then step 4 of tip 4 is combining. Excuse me. So these things that you've written down, your strangers, the friends and family, and then thinking about yourself, are you. That's your uniqueness. These are your unique traits and qualities and abilities that are going to help you be successful in this strategy plan that we're putting together tonight. Your personal energy attracts others, and it reflects back to you. So when your personal energy is attracting certain types of people, pay attention to that. If you're attracting people who are kind or like-minded or successful or whatever you're striving to be, whatever you are hoping to be, you are that thing already. You're attracting that energy. It's reflecting back onto you. Don't doubt that, because it's true. It's a real thing. I promise. If you're thinking, however, on the other hand, that people think negatively of you, you'd like to change how others see you, this is where we start to focus our energy. And that's all that is. This is where we're going to focus our energy for your strategy plan. Which takes us to step 5. What are the goals that you want to set? What's important to you? So, in order to find that, I mean, we can all say like our friends, our family, our kids, our dog, whatever. But let's find out what's really, really important to you as a person. Because you're a mom, you're a grandma, you're a wife, you're a sister, you're a lot of things, but you're also you. And again, we tend to forget that we are a person. So I'm a mom, I'm a sister, I'm a girlfriend, I'm a lot of things, but I'm also Carrie, and I've got I just got like low network connection. I don't know what that means. I hope I'm still recording. I have my own wants, I have my own needs, I have my own likes, I have my own dislikes. So we're gonna find what these goals are. So I want you to finish these sentences. I feel it's important to. And you can finish that however you want. Whatever's important to you, that's how I want you to finish it. Okay. Hi, Derek. I don't know what happened there, but okay, looks like we're back. I want you to finish these sentences. I feel it's important to. Hi, Diana. I want my life to be more ... Whatever you want more from your life, write that down. If you want more abundance, you want more relaxation, you want more, what is the word I'm looking for? Like a regular schedule. Write that down. Then we move on. My core values are ... That one is a little bit harder for some people, and that one you might need to come back to. But I want you to really take the time to figure out what your core values are, because that's what's going to drive these goals, and that's what's going to drive this strategy plan. All right. And then the last one is, I feel my best when. So you can answer that however you need to. I know for myself, I feel my best when I'm well rested, when I'm not hungry, because I can get really hungry. And I feel best when I know what's going on in my life and it's not chaotic. I don't thrive well in chaos. All right. So step 6. This is when we figure out where we're going. Where am I going? That's the number one question, right? Like, well, cool. I want to set these goals, but where does that take me? So to get there, we need to get specific about what we want. Again, if you go back to what we talked about earlier, we talked about making those goals too vague, too big and lofty, like that 20 pounds by summer, that doesn't mean anything. So getting really specific about what you want. And then here's where it gets kind of fun, because I'm kind of a puzzle nerd. So this is where I start really liking this. So we've got this end goal, right? This goal of, I want to lose 20 pounds by summer. Well, we're going to get specific. So we're going to say, I want to lose 20 pounds, 2 dress sizes, or, 2 inches around my stomach, or whatever your goal is, by the end of May, by Memorial Day. That's a specific time, that's a specific date, that's a specific measurement, that is measurable. So that's a specific goal. And that's a big goal, right? May is 5 months away, unfortunately. What does that look like? What does that feel like? How would it feel if you lost that 20 pounds? How would it feel if you were able to fit into those jeans that you didn't fit into now? How does that feel different than how it feels now? Are you feeling bloated? Are you feeling like you're struggling, like you don't like getting dressed, you just want to wear sweatpants all the time? How would that feel to be able to just slip on that pair of jeans that you want to fit into and not have to worry about it? Excuse me. Maybe your goal is not weight loss related, and that's totally cool, because I'm way into not doing that as well. Maybe you want to be able to lift heavy. Maybe you want to get your finances in order. Maybe you want to do your first live video and have all your friends come and join you so that you don't feel silly, right? What does that look like? What does that feel like? That is a big goal. And sometimes you need to sit down and just do like a pros and cons list. I don't know what is going on here. I'm so sorry. Sit down and write a pros and cons list. If I stay stagnant and I stay the way I am now, what are the pros and cons of that? And then if I make those changes, what are the pros and cons of that? And then do that decisional balance. Pros and cons, tried and true method. All right, so anyway, we've got this big end goal, right? So now we're going to reverse engineer that. And we're going to say, okay, big end goal. At the end of 2019 or the end of May or whatever that big goal is, what will I have accomplished? And then we're going to, without getting that tunnel vision and just focusing on that big goal, we're going to break that down into baby steps. So let's use that 20 pounds by Memorial Day. We can't just drop 20 pounds. We're not going to wake up tomorrow and be 20 pounds lighter, right? It's 1 pound at a time. Half a pound at a time sometimes. So we have to break that down and make that... Hi, Tara. We need to break that down and make those steps even smaller, because those baby steps are the ones that are going to get us to that big goal, right? And I'm going to tell you a secret. 42% more likely to succeed if you write those goals down and you keep them visible. So whether that is you keep that on your bathroom mirror, your refrigerator, your phone, wherever you need to keep it visible and physically write it down. Sometimes we get stuck in these apps and the note-taking things on our phones and our computers. Write it down. Pen and paper. 42% more likely to be successful. Keep that one back there. Step 7. All right, so we had that one big end goal. Now I'm going to ask even more of you. I want you to think of 7 to 10 specific goals for 2019. That's a lot, right? All right. But don't worry, because we're going to get clear on just 2 or 3 of them. So when you have a little more time, I want you to think about those 7 to 10 goals. Write them down, and then pick the 2 or 3 that you think are just outside that comfort zone, but still attainable enough that we can really, really focus on those. Really put some time and energy into those. Again, just outside that comfort zone, not so far off that you're in delusional land, not inside your comfort zone where you're not going to get anything done because nothing changes inside our comfort zone. All right. So this is what I want you to know, because this is where it starts to get scary. We start talking 7 to 10 specific goals, and we're going to start working on 2 or 3 of those. What happens to those other ones that are floating out there? We're not going to worry about those. Hi, Mike. My confidence far outweighs your doubt. I'm going to say that again for you, those of you in the back. My confidence far outweighs your doubt. If you follow these 10 steps and you do it well and you really put effort into it, you will succeed. You will do it. All right. So step 8. 3 steps left, guys. All right. We're going to decide how we're going to track our goals, because remember, they have to be measurable. I'm a huge fan of pen and paper. So again, like, there's all these apps on our phones, our computers, Google Docs, whatever we use. They're cool. I use those too. But I still have pen and paper, and I love it. For me, it's there's something so satisfying about just writing things down, crossing them off, highlighting them, using different colors, whatever it is I have to do. Just do it. You have to find a tracking system that works for you. And maybe you hate pen and paper. Maybe you're like anti-pencil. That's fine. Use the Google Docs. Use the apps. Use a vision board. Whatever it is that's going to keep you on track. Thinking about when you're like potty training your kids and you have that sticker chart. We all function really well when we track our progress. Even as kids. Do it as an adult, and it will help keep you on track. Excuse me. All right. Number 9. We are going to hire our support system. This is where I'm going to get a little serious, because I think it's really, really, really important. Oh, hi, Rachel. So this is where I think it gets really, really serious. I want you to be really selective in whom you choose. Again, I want you to be selective in whom you choose to be on your support team. Your support team needs to be friends and family who are ready to hold you accountable. You can have friends and family that will hold your hand and say, oh, one cookie's not going to hurt, or let's just go out for dinner, or whatever it is that moms and grandmas and really well-meaning people do that still kind of derail you from your goals. I need you to have friends and family who are going to hold you accountable and say, you know what? I know that you're working on this goal and I know it's really important to you. So instead of going out for dinner, let's go back to my place and we'll cook a dinner and we'll make it healthy and we can still hang out and we can still spend time together, and that's totally fine. Those are the people we need to have on our team. Excuse me. All right. Then we need our healthcare professionals. Doctors, naturopaths, chiropractors, homeopaths, acupuncturists, massage therapists, whoever it is that is your healthcare professional. If you trust them, you work well with them, you don't feel like they're shoving medications down your throat, they listen to you, they let you guide your health, those are the people you need on your team. All right. Then you need a support community that share common goals, that can provide that support for each other. You can pursue goals together. You can have competitions, friendly ones. That support community is so, so valuable. And you can find that in your own community physically. You can find it on Facebook. Hopefully on the Meraki page. And that's how you pronounce that for those of you who don't know. Hopefully we can start growing that a little bit more and become a support group of sorts. And then finally, a health coach. Hi. And even if you don't choose me as your health coach, that's totally fine. I'm not going anywhere. But when you are choosing your health coach, your health professionals, I want you to make sure that they're qualified. And this is where I'm going to start getting kind of super serious. I want you to make sure that the people that you choose to have on your support team, that their intentions are genuine and true. When we are feeling vulnerable, unsure about ourselves, not confident, not feeling like we have what it takes to be successful, we tend to share too much and we tend to trust too much. The people that we want on our support team often aren't the people that we should have on our support team. So that want versus should, two very different things. And sometimes those people have their own agenda. Sometimes, who knows what it is? I don't know what it is. But I've seen it happen where people thought that they had a really strong support system, and then as it turns out, they really didn't. And they were kind of left in the dust, kind of flabbergasted and, not knowing what to do next. And so trusting your instincts, we all have that inside of us. Learning to trust our instincts, it's so, so important. Choosing who is going with you on this path, we have to choose where we're going, but who are we taking with us? So really, really important stuff here. Also, last thing about this that I'll say is psychology tells everyone, or says that telling everyone what we're trying to accomplish actually tricks our brains into thinking that we've already accomplished it. So if we think that everybody's on our support team and we start telling everybody, hey, I'm on this new weight loss plan, I'm going to lose 20 pounds by Memorial Day, or I'm going to quit smoking, or I'm going to get out of debt, or whatever our goal is, psychology says that our brain actually thinks that we are done doing that thing because we've talked about it enough. It must be true, right? It's not, obviously. We haven't done the work. So let's make sure that we have those select few on our team. All right? I know it's really hard to do, and sometimes you get burned in the end, but it's important that we learn how to do that. All right. Number 10. Roadblocks and barriers, or what I like to call life. They're going to happen. You can plan out an entire week's worth of meals, an entire month's worth of meals, and something will happen. So I always say, plan for the worst, but expect the best. So if you make a plan where, okay, cool, if this happens, I've got A, B, and C in my back pocket, I can throw this together, I can do whatever I need to do, but then just kind of expect the best, then you're always prepared. Roadblocks and barriers, how we speak to ourselves. This one took me a really long time to learn, and I'm still learning it. But how we speak to ourselves matters. All capital letters, matters. When we say, oh, I cheated this weekend. I had 2 glasses of wine or 3 cookies or whatever it is. That word cheat implies that we've done something wrong. When we cheat on a test, we're doing something wrong, right? So that word cheat implies that we've done something wrong. We haven't done anything wrong. We need to change that word from cheat to treat. We treated ourselves. You know why? Because we can, first of all. And B, because sometimes it's okay to treat yourselves. It's a treat. That word implies that it's not an everyday thing. It was a special occasion. Whatever that occasion was, we didn't do anything wrong. We treated ourselves. Big difference, right? Okay, so that's that positive reframing, and it's not a bullshit excuse. So don't listen to people who want to tell you that. It's life. It happens, and we can accept that. Sometimes those roadblocks and barriers are totally out of our control. So we can say that we are going to lose that 20 pounds by Memorial Day. And we have been dealt a shitty genetic hand. Sometimes our bodies really, really have to work hard to lose that excess weight. And some of us have to work harder at it than others. It's just the way science works. And so I heard a saying the other day, and I have permission to blatantly steal it, and so I'm going to spread it everywhere. Serenity prayer, that shit. So that having the courage to know what you can and can't control saying, do it. Sometimes things are just out of your control. Somebody who's watching this right now, and I used to have a saying, Jesus, take the wheel. That's exactly what it is. Sometimes you just have to accept things the way they are and know that it's out of your control. You're doing everything that you can, and that's it. Bless and release, right? Moving on. Okay, so that was your 10 steps to creating a successful strategy plan. So we'll kind of recap. Step 1, progress, not perfection. Keep your expectations realistic. Step 2, why do you want to change? What is fueling that need for a do-over, that need for a purge, a detox, a cleanse, whatever you want to call it? Step 3, are you being held back by fear or lofty goals? What's holding you back? Step 4, who do you want to be to yourself and to others? Who do you want to be seen as? And who do you want to be for yourself? Step 5, make meaningful progress. So we can always go back to step 5 and revisit this. You check your priorities, you check what's important to you, and that'll change. As your life changes, your priorities change, and they fluctuate, and they ebb and they flow, and that's okay. That's life. That's what's supposed to happen. But making sure that we make meaningful progress while we're doing that's step 5. And step 6 is getting specific, writing it down, and keeping it visible. So remember, you're physically writing this down. Even if you decide not to track things with pen and paper, I want you to write this down and then keep it visible. Step 7 is to make sure that you're aiming just outside that comfort zone and that we're getting clear on 2 to 3 of those 7 to 10 specific goals, okay? Excuse me. 7 to 10 specific goals that we're going to get clear on 2 to 3 of. Number 8, getting that tracking system in place. Whatever that is, that pen and paper, the Google Apps, the Google Docs, Excel, whatever it is that you're comfortable with and you use, the note thing on your phone. I'm pretty sure every smartphone has one. Whatever you're comfortable with, that's how you're going to track your progress. Number 9, getting that support system in place. Your friends and family, your healthcare professionals, your support system, your community, and your health coach. And I would be more than happy to be that for you. And then number 10, expecting the best and planning for the worst. Watching your language and how you talk to yourself. Making sure that you're choosing words that give you permission to be perfectly imperfect. Remember that from the beginning. And then serenity prayer that shit. Have the courage to control what you can control. Okay. I really hope that these 10 steps help you get started in creating your strategy plan. So part of that strategy plan is having that support system. And since this is my first live video, I wanted to kind of explain what it is that I do and what I have to offer. And at any time you have questions, feel free to reach out to me, my email, through Messenger on Facebook. I will be posting this video to YouTube. Ooh. That's terrifying for me too. And here's the sneak peek. My website's ready. Woohoo! So that's sheboyganhealthcoach.com. And for anybody who, hi Jeff, anybody who might be watching this later, Sheboygan, if you're not from Sheboygan, is spelled SHEBOYGAN, healthcoach.com. Yep. I'll put that in the comments later. But yeah, it's live. So if you want to go take a look at it, let me know your thoughts. I hope it's user-friendly and clean. I know that my friend Jose, who helped, basically did the whole thing and then showed me how to change a few things here and there. But I think he did a really good job, and I'm happy with it. But I'm always open for suggestions or things that you want to see later. So anyway, getting back to working with me, I just want to tell you that this is what I've wanted to do since I learned what a health and wellness coach is, really. So when I decided to go back to school, I really wanted to be a dietitian, and at that time in my life, it didn't make sense. So I ended up flirting with Lakeland in Plymouth, Wisconsin, and they had an exercise science program, and I kind of went back and forth because at that point I didn't really exercise a whole lot, but there was a lot of nutrition and other things involved in that degree, and so I thought, okay, I can do that, right? Well, awesome. So I've taught fitness for the last 5 years. I loved it, but I know that there's space for me in this world doing more than just fitness. And I've worked one-on-one with people. I've done workshops, I've done seminars, I've done summits. I love talking to groups of people. I love talking one-on-one with people. I love hearing people's stories. So, working with me, you will get a professional who will help you explore why the urge to clean house, getting deep to the roots of who you are, why you are the way you are, what makes you unique, and then how to use all your uniqueness, all those things that make you you, how to use those to succeed. You will get a professional who will help you set up your strategy plan with small goals that are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-based. I will push you outside your comfort zone, but I will keep you out of that delusional zone. Hi, Tabitha. I will make sure that your goals stay inside that attainable area. You will get a professional who will help you find the best way to track your progress for you. So for me, it's pen and paper. That's not for everybody. I know that. We've got lots of tools in my toolbox on how to help track your progress and keep track of your goals, and we'll find the one that works best for you. You will get a professional who will be in your support system, right? Because that's one of the 4 components of that support system. You will get a professional who will help you prepare for those life's roadblocks, or what I like to call just life in general. Creating those plans to make sure that you are prepared for whatever life throws at you. You will get a professional who has years of experience, training, education, filling my toolbox. So when I say experience, I don't just mean the experience talking to people one-on-one or teaching fitness classes or whatever it is. I mean, I've been there. I've been that person who says, I need to lose 100 pounds. I've been that person who says, I need to quit smoking. I've been that person who says, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. I feel lost. I feel hopeless. I'm never going to be able to change. I've been that person. I know what that feels like, and I want to help. That's why I do what I do. That's my goal. That's my end goal, is to help as many people as I can. And this is just another venue for me to do that. So visit my website. You can be the first people to visit it. Woohoo, you're so special. Sheboyganhealthcoach.com. Send me an email, send me a message on Facebook, click the book now. Make comments on this video, like it, share it. Let's get this out there, because now that I got my first one out of the way, I think my next one would be even better. I'd love to do more workshops like this. I'd love to offer more free material. I'd love to offer group coaching, whatever it is that you're interested in. Let me know. Send me messages. I don't know unless you tell me. But thank you all. I really appreciate every single one of you who even just popped in for a second. I don't even know who's watching anymore. But I really appreciate it. And I hope you all got something out of this. Thanks again for watching. Click that like button and have a good night.